UnDaoDu. And I want to share with you this eye-bleeding letter. Remember, I'm highly dyslexic. Writing is such a chore to me. And but I want to share it with you and talk about it so you understand it. And also, I'm looking for other BitClout community members who want to join me and make this a class action lawsuit. Um, so I have videos of my IP and work that I call the open startup. These are ideas that aren't incorporated that actually level up and become something, right? Become a DAO. That is the impetus behind Ethereum's DAO. This is actually, I just realized that I can actually end up um, subpoenaing Mihal and a whole bunch of Ethereum folks in the same process to get the attribution that my work actually applied to development of Ethereum. I just thought of that just now. Tell me how. Get ready for a subpoena. Oh my gosh. I'm killing two birds with one stone. So, little backstory. I worked with the founders of Ethereum back when they were working on Bitcoin Magazine in 2011, shared all of my IP, all of this work. Um, and it led to development of what you call the blockchain today. You have to understand the blockchain exists and the why of the blockchain that no one can explain to you, and I can because you can think of me as its visionary, is allow us to transform or to move from one sandbox, which is our Capitalism 1.0 model, to a new sandbox. A sandbox that I didn't know at the time what it would look like or how it would work, but I knew that was the only way to get us off of this insatiable, planet killing 14th century model that came out of Florence as a gamified system to allow for rich people to make more money via something known as CAG, or compounded annual growth rate. And the blockchain just is a new sandbox for us to explore. And ultimately, um, I didn't know what the answer was back in 2012. I do now. It took me another 8 years to figure out. Um, and the next thing would be these Bitcoin as a platform. And Bitcoin as a platform, for all you maximalist Bitcoin people, just means that the Bitcoin stays on the platform. It never leaves the DAO. There's only 21 million, right? So the idea that all this Bitcoin could be sequestered into community DAOs owned by the stakeholders, and collectively these DAOs work together, forming what's known as the Bitcoin Global Reserve Fund that underwrites these stable tokens that actually are balanced to this fund, like gold was once with the dollar. This isn't rocket science. This is very straightforward. So I'm going after the simple thing is the argument really is BitClout is no company. It says in the white paper, it's just coin and code. Um, and the 2 million tokens pre-issued to these individuals, and these individuals being, and I need a hyperlink right in here. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. Um, Andreessen Hazowitz, this guy, Chamath, I can't say his last name, Social Capital, Brian Armstrong's Coinbase Ventures, Winklevoss Capital, Tyler, and right, and Reddit's co-founder Alexis Ohurian. Oh, I can't say his last name. I apologize, Alexis. All right, to name a few. Now there may be others that owe this 2 million. The value of this 2 million tokens now is worth over 360 million if you just consider it's like $160 a token. And my argument is this is commercial. You pre-sold. It's a violation of my, which is non-commercial. So the moment you sold, in a way, you violated my license, right? UnDaoDu's license. Um, Another argument, okay, that's the first one. Second argument is that BitClout isn't a company, then it's a community. And the community did not give authorization for this pre-sale. Right? Simple, right? So if you're not a company, then you're a community. Right? So I am taking, this is why class action, I'm looking for other people to join me on this side. So we can go after them on the point of view from the side of violation of my IP, which I believe I have a very strong argument. Uh, I think I know the person who I can link to it. Um, and not only that, it seems strange that they launched very quickly after my March 8th video. They kind of like looked at it. They probably talked to attorneys and said, hey, we need to launch this and get this out there. Maybe he won't even notice. He's not talking about this. And I got to thank a friend of mine who put me on Clubhouse, and then I saw this thing on BitClout. The moment I saw it, I was like, great. Same thing I did with Ethereum. When I saw Ethereum, I was like, great, I can use this. And then the deeper I looked, the more I realized everything from their logo. And I have talks on that. So what makes this interesting too is this is the first of its kind lawsuit, right? We're suing a non-company, Coin and Code, and we're going after the tokens held by investors. It's going to be a precedent lawsuit. So I think it could go all the way to the Supreme Court. And here's the deal. I've got Bitcoin. I don't have tons of it. I have enough of it, I believe, to fight these guys. And even if I run out, I think others by then will come in and join the effort. And I believe that this whole 360 million is going to be enticing enough for attorneys to want to jump in because there's a big cash pool of money and they can be paid out in tokens, right? So there's a lot of leverage here that I see for it. So I just wanted to talk about this letter. Again, I apologize, it's eye bleeding, right? And you have to understand, I'm a monk, right? I'm a monk. I live in the heartland of Zen Buddhism. I'm the founder of Duism, right? Um, Bitcoin is meaningless to me. NFTs are meaningless to me, right? They're widgets, it's stuff. What I'm fighting for, what I've always been fighting for, is this is the transformation of this 14th century broken business model to something new. Now imagine we win, right? Imagine we get the 2 million tokens, right? Those 2 million tokens go into the BitClout forkable DAO. In that Bitcoin forkable DAO has the, has basically the framework for BitClout. You can put any clothing you want on it, right? It could look like anything from YouTube to Instagram to Match to whatever, right? The gamification is just a module. You can even modify the the way the rules of the DAO if you don't like it. It's a forkable fork. And but the key thing is what makes this so transformative, what makes this world changing is this simple idea. Bitcoin as a platform. Bitcoin as a platform simply means this. The Bitcoin that goes into it, the fiat that goes into it, the tokens that go into it become immutable Bitcoin that never leaves the platform. Think about that. And what it does is it pays out a UBI from 20 to 80% as determined by the AI based on the markets, based on what's going on, based on projections. The AI is looking at all this data and deciding, similar to that of Nexo and IO, on a daily basis paid out in the native token of that platform. Understand, this could be a restaurant. This could be a hospital. You pay your medical bills, you get a UBI. This could be a school. You pay for private school, your kids are getting a UBI for life. This could be a farm, a grocery store. This whole idea of the way the DAO should work, the way the DAO sequesters the most valuable asset. And here's the deal. It's these one percenters that drove Bitcoin to this. And what's really important, what you have to grasp right now is this. Bitcoin is at the beginning of its meteoric rise. It's at the moment that I've been telling folks it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, right? And what you have to understand is Bitcoin is not a stock. It's not it's not soft. It is hard. It is the hardest thing on this planet in the sense of science. It is finite, it is immutable, and it is highly scarce. It is the most scarce thing next to time. And that scarcity, by drawing those Bitcoin into these DAOs, is going to supercharge that scarcity. And eventually, all the Bitcoin, may take 20, may take 50 years, right, is all going to sit in these community DAOs owned by the community, underwrite a stable coin, paying out a UBI. Capitalism 1.0 has been checkmated. It took 10 years for UnDaoDu, as prophesized on the Mayan zodiac prophecy, sitting there struggling with this weight on his back, trying to lift it up. And on 21/12/12, that paradigm becomes a reality. I'm UnDaoDu.